Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to day 199. My name is Mary, and today's story is called Esther's Dinner. News of this terrible law came to Mordecai as it came to all the Jews in Shushan. Mordecai tore his clothes, put on garments of sackcloth, covered his head with ashes, and went out in front of the palace, crying a loud, bitter cry. Queen Esther saw him and heard his voice. She sent one of her servants named Hatash to Mordecai to find why he was in such deep trouble. Hatash came to Mordecai, and Mordecai told him of the law and gave him a copy of it to show to Queen Esther. He told Hatash to ask the queen to go to King Ahasuerus and beg him to spare the lives of her people. Queen Esther heard Hatash's words and sent this message to Mordecai. It is the rule of the palace that if any man or woman goes in to the king without being sent for, he will be killed unless the king holds out the golden scepter. But I have not been called to meet the king for 30 days. When Mordecai heard this message, he sent word back to Queen Esther. Do not think that you are safe and shall escape the fate of your people. If you keep still and do nothing to save your people, God will surely save them in some other way. But you and your father's family shall be destroyed. Perhaps God has given you your royal place for a time like this. Then Esther sent this answer to Mordecai: Go and bring together all the Jews in Shushan, and let them all pray for me, eating and drinking nothing for 3 days. I and my maids will pray and fast at the same time. When I will go in to the king, even though it is against the law, if it is God's will that I should die trying to save my people, then I will die. When Mordecai heard these words, he was glad, for he felt sure God would save his people through Queen Esther. For 3 days, all the Jews in Shushan met together, praying and in the palace. Esther and her servants were praying at the same time. The 3rd day came, and Esther dressed herself in her robes as queen. She went out of her own rooms across the open court and entered the door in front of the throne where the king was sitting. The king saw her standing before him in all her beauty, and his heart was touched with love for her. He held out the golden rod that was in his hand. Esther, come near, and touched the top of the scepter. The king said to her, What do you wish, Queen Esther? It shall be given to you, even half of my kingdom. But Esther did not ask for what she wanted right away. She was very wise. And she said, If it pleases the king, I have come to ask that the king and Haman come to a dinner I have made ready for them. The king said, "Send word to Haman that he should come dine with the king and queen." So that day, King Ahasuerus and Haman sat at the table with the queen. She was covered with a veil, for even Haman was not allowed to look at her face. While they were sitting together, the king said, "Queen Esther, is there anything you want? It shall be given to you, whatever it is." "My wish," answered the queen, "is that the king and Haman shall come again to eat with me tomorrow." And that was the word of the Lord. Now we come to our discussion questions. Number 1, what did Mordecai do when he found out about the law? What did Mordecai do when he found out about the law? Number 2, why was it dangerous for Esther to go to the king? Why was it dangerous for Esther to go to the king? Number 3, what did Mordecai tell Esther? What did Mordecai tell Esther? Number 4, and last one, what did the queen ask the king and Haman to do? Why didn't she want to tell the king about the law right away? Number 4 has two parts to it. The first part, what did the queen ask the king and Haman to do? And the second part, why didn't she want to tell the king about the law right away? And with that, we come to the end of our story, number 199. Thank you for being there. May God bless us all. Till next time. Bye-bye for now.